Hey guys, what I realized was some of you might be confused. So this is going to be video 5.1 here, all right? And what I did was I went through and tried to organize some of my notes and thoughts for you. So even though the book ends with this, I'm going to start with it. What is absolutism in Europe? It's this idea of divine right. It's this idea that the gods made them kings. There's a pretty good chart on page 160 about it, all right? And it comes from the growing powers of the European monarchs, because remember, feudalism, Reformation, all that stuff, people need something to be loyal to, so they're going to be loyal to their country. Often, a crisis allows for a power grab. Something's going to happen in the country that says, hey, we need this much power, we should have this much power, or creates a window of opportunity for a leader. So let's start in Spain. Before we're going to talk about, you get Charles V. He's a devout Catholic, accepted the Peace of Augsburg. Any prince can decide what religion his area is. He's going to love fighting Muslims, and he opposed Lutherans. Here's the problem. Towards the end of his life, he retires, and there's this crisis. Who gets what? So he gives Austria and the Holy Roman Empire to Ferdinand. Philip II gets Spain and the Spanish Netherlands. The Spanish Netherlands are a part of the Dutch area that the Spanish control. Philip II takes over and he leads Spain, as you can see here, for almost 44 years. You should check out his wiki on the right side there. His resume is pretty damn impressive. He's shy, serious, trusted no one, very aggressive for his empire. When there's an opportunity, he takes control of Portugal. Basically, he takes over a family heirloom for sake of another saying it. He created an empire that spanned the globe, because he's got all Spain's territory, he's got all Portugal's territory. He's very, very rich. One of the things he likes to do is he's a defender of Catholicism. Remember, right about when he takes over is the height of Reformation. Fighting for religion was his family's tradition. Charles V had done it. Charles V's parents had done it. So even his grandparents had fought. He attacked the Muslim by attacking the Ottoman Empire as a response to the Pope's call to do so in 1571. That goes well for him. Then he's like, ooh, that went well. Let me attack the Protestants in Europe. And his armada, his big navy, attacks England. Oops, you can look at a map on page 156. He catches a big fat L for doing that. But the kingdom looks good from the outside. These losses and spending all that money to fight and build the army hurt the kingdom, but the wealth covers it. It was kind of like really cheap jewelry. There's this layer of gold on the outside, but inside it's probably plastic. There was this boom in art and literature during his time period. You've got El Greco, Velázquez, Don Quixote, one of the most famous books of mankind, written by Cervantes. He builds his palace/monastery inside the palace called Escorial. But as you know, once something goes up, it must come down. The Spanish Empire falls. Here's what happened. Prices went super high. More people led to more demand, even higher prices. All the silver coming in from America created inflation, higher prices. So people needed more and more silver to buy the same items. When he went after the Jews and the Moors and the Muslims, what he did, Philip II accidentally did, was push all the businessmen and artisans out of Spain. So since they couldn't make their own stuff, they had to buy the stuff. And what's ironic is they were buying things from France and England. They were buying things from their enemies. And their enemies could take the money they made from Spain and build their own navy. All right? And the money was going out as fast as it came in. So remember I said he took over the Spanish Netherlands? The Dutch there are going to result. It's just a bad match. As Spain economy went down, the Dutch went up. As the Spain were Catholic, the Dutch were primarily Calvinist. So Philip is going to use his army to control them. And to pay for his army, he decides to raise the taxes. The Dutch revolt. I love this. At one point, there's aqueducts holding water back. The Spanish troops are in the low ground, so the Dutch just flood them out, hurt their land, but also then eventually this is what's going to help them win eventually. But to give you an idea, at the beginning of the revolt, one of the Spanish dukes has about 1,500 rebels killed in one day. After about 11 years, so Spain's using all this money, gold, blood, to fight the Dutch rebellion. The 7 northern provinces declared their independence. They're the Protestants. The 10 southern provinces what's now called Belgium stays with Spain for a little while. Independent Dutch territory becomes basically the new Florence. Art and trade take off, you get Rembrandt, you get Vermeer, and why are the Dutch so successful? They've got the Dutch East India Company, and they're making a ton of money off of tulips. And the Dutch are very successful. In a few minutes, we're going to shoot a video about France. Bye.